welcome to Putin Football First. We have finally lost all sense of
normality. It's definitely gone balls up on set here at Putin Football First.
Let's get rid of this stuff.
This is silly.
That was never going to work.
Welcome everybody. Sorry about that. And all I can say is Vive la France. We said it right at the beginning. Actually, we didn't. I don't think we have picked France
You went for
once.
Belgium.
I wanted Belgium.
They
were my dark
Belgium.
horse.
Yes,
but,
dark horse finally went.
What can I say, Tony? I just want to make it up to you. So
okay, no worries.
Here, of course, the waffles and beer have been replaced by wine and baguette.
How come my baguette's smaller than your baguette?
Because your baguette has always been smaller than my baguette. But
that's true.
Look, I've got you some cheese.
Oh,
We've got
wonderful.
some pate, if you could reach that.
Yep.
Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're just going to enjoy ourselves at the victory of France, and what a game that was.
That was terrific. And can I just have a shout out to a French supporter of our show, Amandine. She was an exchange student in our Rotary program many, many years ago when she was just a young lady. She's been following the show, and I've been saying to her, Vive la France.
To you,
well done.
Amandine. I promised I wasn't going to do a stupid French accent. Let's talk
wonderful.
about the football.
I'm going to eat that.
Actually, yeah, I'll talk about the football. This indeed a game to prove that it is indeed the beautiful game. What a fantastic game!
Technically beautiful.
Yes. And for those haters that say the scores are never what they should be, 1-0 was the perfect score to this game. I thought. As much as I wanted Brussels to win, they were
Brussels to win.
Belgium to win. If I'd had Belgium waffles, I wouldn't have made that mistake, but you wouldn't let me. If Belgium edged by France with a fantastic header set play.
It needed a goal. It definitely needed a goal, but it was a game that could have ended up. Yeah, you eat now. It needed a goal, and we got one. It was about 55 minutes in, so there was still plenty to play for. Exactly what you said the other day about the battle between the two coaches. It got down to tactics. It got down to who was going to outsmart the other. I thought both teams played it very well. I thought both coaches played it very well. And the goalkeepers, next level goalkeeping, absolute fingertip, saves.
This is why they are number one,
stretch of the leg.
Number three goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah,
and
it was just
look,
a great spectacle.
I think the Belgian coach won the first 30 minutes. He came out, when I looked and saw 3 at the back for Belgium, I thought, whoa, we're going to have a game here. And we did. He actually played 4 in the midfield, 1 that dropped back in defence, but 3 up front. And for the first 20 minutes, all the shots on.
It was all Belgium.
Were
and I was surprised. I thought, oh, gee, they really are going to take it to France. And France,
did.
Yeah.
Good
France
on them.
But again, the power of just being so technically gifted. France was so good in those tight areas. The little triangles playing their way out of defence. And, just doing the right things at the right time to get out. And then all of a sudden stretching Belgium all the way out to the wings. Crosses coming in. It was great to watch.
Try the one.
Yeah, I will.
I don't usually say this very often, but
for one sec.
It's all right. It's non-alcoholic.
It's non-alcoholic.
Yeah. We can't even act our way out of this facade.
Non-alcoholic for a reason.
Welcome to the fast that is putting football first. No, what I was going to say was, I don't often say this, but France defended amazingly well.
Yeah, they did.
Anyone that thought there were any doubts about their defence, to watch them pretty much wipe Lukaku out of the game.
Yeah, that's it.
I think he got 3 touches and they were all useless. And into the second half, the pressure that they put on Belgium meant that Belgium's midfield became not completely, but
they were just under more and more
ineffective.
pressure. They were just under pressure. And even Lukaku, he got a couple of touches where the ball came out of him and
make it count.
he just didn't have the reactions, like it came at him too quickly, or he thought, could have done more with it. But
so I think Duchamp changed the. I must pronounce his name correctly.
Deschamps.
Champs.
He was a champ.
He changed their formation to be that pressured defence, which we haven't seen from France.
Yeah,
a lot of from France. And there was a period of about 20 minutes where De Bruyne, who's usually the destroyer in midfield for Belgium. Well, not only could he not get through, he had the ball and he was holding it too long trying to figure out what the hell to do next.
Exactly. Yeah, every option, every avenue,
Yeah.
every corridor had been shut off now.
And if you know what you're looking at there, I don't, but I'm assuming you do. It was fabulous football to watch. It was really good defence by France, and I think France is going to need every bit of that to beat Croatia in the final.
Either Croatia or England.
Cheers to my English friends. Wine's good.
We'll talk about that in a moment. No, it was, look, they'll need that. And as I said, I think they're primed. You know, when they started playing in that round of 16 against Uruguay, you could just see that they had gone through the gears. You know, what we saw in the round or the group matches, they were just going through the motions and just doing enough to get over. You know, Australia were down here, they just did enough. You know, Denmark were here. You know, Uruguay were here. You know, they just did enough to get over their opposition, and they've clicked into gear beautifully.
And look, you're the historian when it comes to World Cups. I've got a funny feeling that most winning teams usually play it that way through the group stage.
Yeah, that's it.
Getting better and better, but not
overshining. Pardon me. Italy were masters at it. You know, like that when they won the World Cup.
And Germany.
In '82, they did nothing. You know, they drew their first 3 games famously. They drew against I think it was either Cameroon or Ghana. And they only drew because the African defender slipped and they equalised. So they only just got through, but they just kept getting better and better, and they just kept building and building. And that's what we've seen from France.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be back in a moment.
Welcome back. We're enjoying cheese and pate.
Cheese and bickies.
And Pac-Man too.
Now, a couple of interesting tidbits of information that came through yesterday. Mm-hmm. We all know how fast Mbappe is. Mm-hmm. I should not be talking with my mouth full, so can you talk for a minute?
Mbappe. Fast.
We will never get jobs in real TV. We all know how fast he is.
Almost as fast as us eating.
A report came out a couple of days ago that said there are 2 players in the World Cup that have clocked faster times than Mbappe.
Right.
Did you see this?
No.
One was the Australian called Cruz. Apparently he was chasing his first touch before it got to the byline.
You have to be
kidding me.
The
other one was Lecky.
You're kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding
They
you.
are faster than Mbappe.
Both of them have clocked times faster than him in this
when
World
they
Cup.
were, 10 years ago?
No, this World Cup.
Wow.
Just goes to show how bad our first touch really is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I would never have guessed those 2. Can I get serious for one brief moment? And this is deadly serious. I just wanted to also say what a great bit of news that came out of Thailand this morning.
Yes, yeah.
That each of those boys that were trapped in a cave
and
for
about
coach. 2 weeks and their coach were all rescued safely. You know, it was an international effort. They had gone there. It was a birthday trip. They're all part of the same football team, although the media keeps saying soccer, which I want to talk about in a moment as well. But great news coming out of that they all were finally rescued, and now comes the time where they're in hospital, and hopefully their bodies and their systems will get them back to.
And look, while it's unlikely to happen, FIFA has contacted them and invited them to the final.
Oh, have they really? Yeah.
So I don't think they'll get there, but it's a nice gesture.
Look, it is a nice gesture. They're supposed to be in hospital for 48 hours. Looks like they'll be there for a week, and they've got to check out whether they've picked up any sort of disease along the way. You know, being in that sort of environment, I can't think of anything.
And a big shout out to the rescuers and to everybody that, one man lost his life, but all of you that put time and effort and risked so much to be there and to get those boys out. Thank you so much. The soccer community, as well as the world at large, is really grateful. Yep. Well done.
And welcome back. Do we now not have mouthfuls?
Can we don't have mouthfuls. Apologies for that last segment.
I want to speak properly because I want to take the ABC to task. Yes, I can. I can talk proper like when I want to.
This is the serious side of putting football first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
You've waited 25 episodes to see it.
I've waited 54 years of my life to get to this serious part. The ABC. All right. Now the ABC spend a lot of time. Our lovely beloved broadcasting station, Auntie, 8 cents a day, 9 cents a day, whatever it costs. Can we please get someone in there who realises once and for all the game is not soccer? It's not the Soccer World Cup. Once again this morning, and France are the first team to make it into Soccer's World Cup. It is not Soccer's World Cup. It is the Football World Cup. And one of the great things that the late, great Johnny Warren did many, many years ago, he said on SBS, we need to start calling this game football. And that's where it started. That's where the name changed. Everywhere that's online now has NRL, AFL, Union and football. It is now officially called that. Let's call it football, guys.
Yeah,
I know you love your state of origin.
But you're close to SBS somehow. So learn from your cousins.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're the non-commercial station, so please get it right. It's so irritating.
While we're talking about media...
Did
I just throw food at you?
You did?
While I'm talking about media, let's... very sorry about that.
That's all right.
Can we thank the Newcastle Herald for that lovely little story they put out on 2 soccer trades? They made us sound like office workers.
They did.
In fact, they called us office workers.
They did call us office workers.
I've been a clerk for 30 years now.
I'm just glad they didn't call us murderers. That was the one thing that... Although we do murder the script.
We do. We murder a lot of things.
We murder the script, we murder the show every day. But it was great. It was great to... it wasn't... Look, at the end of the day, it's got nothing to do with you and me. To me, it's more about the game.
It is.
It's more to shine a light on the World Cup and the actual game. And let's get this. Let's get the Socceroos and let's get the grassroots happening again, so that we can.
And look, at least two of our viewers have said. In fact, both of them.
Yep,
both of our viewers have said how much having this has made the World Cup enjoyable, accessible. They could stick with it. They didn't have to watch every game.
Yep.
But they're
more
still
palatable.
here with us.
A bit like this
palatable. Yes. So look, we've enjoyed doing it. There's a few more to go. Thank you, Newcastle Herald. And now we have our big announcement.
Well, hang on. Before you get to that, I just wanted to say as well that I think one of the things that I've really enjoyed about doing this is that it brings a bit of light-hearted humour to the game. SBS are terrific, but this year, and because of the Optus debacle, they have 150% concentrated on the serious aspect of the game,
and they've done a great job.
And there's been no sort of counterbalance, and we're the goofy guys,
Look, I think the SBS crew, hi to Vera Wang and Hugo Boss. Love your work, guys.
What was Vera Wang wearing? Why was she wearing her jacket across her?
No, that's a beautiful skirt.
Is that a skirt? Was it? It looked like it was. It looked like her legs were cold.
She looks amazing. I don't know about Craig Foster's suits. I think he needs. Looks like a pallbearer.
He needs a tailor.
Great job, guys. Really great job. We watch you every night, and I think they're the only other crew that has been awake and covered 100%. Every single game and every single day of the World Cup, like we have.
Wow.
So, as arrogant as it is for me
that is a claim to 5.5. Yes, yeah.
Unlike those clowns on Santo, Sam and Ed's World Cup Viewer, who do one show a week.
Who watches that?
With an audience. Yeah, who watches that?
And people who write their humour, unlike us.
That's right. You can tell we write our own humour here. And sometimes it's not even written.
Champagne comedy.
Well done to SBS. You've done a sterling job. It was thrown at you at the last minute, thanks to Floptus, and you've it's made it really worthwhile for us to watch.
It's been good.
It's meant that we can clown around like this. And guys, if you ever need any help, just where to find us.
Tips?
We're here in Newcastle. Just call the Newcastle Herald.
Any fashion tips?
Messages.
We have Rundles just down the road, Craig. We'll bring you down. We'll put you in a decent suit.
Now they know where we are. And I don't think they've had Cristiano on set either, so we're one up there.
Is that the Cristiano from Juventus? Cristiano?
I know. Look, I will be getting the shirt later. He'll be in a Juventus shirt for tomorrow's episode. Now, the big news.
Okay. Yes, the big news. What's the big announcement?
We are going to further enhance our careers. I bet no one could hear anything when you did that. We're going to be recording our second last episode live with an audience.
Yes.
We've had that many people say we want to be in there with you. We want to sit and enjoy what is clearly a lot of fun. So we're going to be at the Sydney Junction Hotel from about 7 o'clock on Thursday evening. We're going to be looking back over the World Cup that was, the two semi-finals as they will have played out. Wow, that was difficult, especially after the wine. Look, they've got great meals in there. Come in, grab a meal beforehand, come into the room where we are. I think it's the Hudson Room, and be part of this hilarity. Unless that's you, Marcel, you're not invited.
Get on a plane, come over, mate. I want to see it. The thing that I find terrific about this is, an event was set up on Facebook, and as you know, these events, you send the invitations out. 133 invitations went out. One person definitely going. That's me. You clicked on interested. So it's not actually 100% certain that you might be going.
I have to tell you, it was the middle of the first half when I looked at my phone and I saw that and went, I'm really busy, I'm watching the game.
Interested.
I couldn't see the yes
I was insulted.
There you go.
All right, let's go.
Tony's going to be doing the show, putting football first live.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Well, now he knows he's going to be on his own. But we'll try and get a panel of people too. We're going to have a few guests at that show.
Hopefully, yep, fingers crossed. Okay.
All of them.
We'll be back in a moment.
Will we? Yeah, sorry about that. The biggest button I could see was interested. It's not that I'm not interested in being here.
Interested.
Tony, but what's scary is no one else has responded.
Is that like swiping left on Tinder or something like that?
I wouldn't know.
No, as my friends tell me.
That's right.
Yeah, I've been told.
Yeah, it could just be you and I at the Sydney Junction.
I think it will be.
Should we take Cristiano?
We will. It could be we'll have to move him. It'll be the only live person. Oh, Gabe, bring some canned laughter because I don't.
Yeah, we're going to need canned laughter. It could be really embarrassing.
Because it'll be very quiet.
Crickets and the sound of a bar going off somewhere.
Or people just looking in the window.
You're not recording, are you?
What are those two guys doing?
Just recording.
Oh, you're kidding.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. That's highly professional again. We've made a few calls. There will be a couple of other people there at the Sydney Junction Hotel. In the meantime, we've got a couple of semi-serious segments. We've got one now that Tony has been dying to do since the group stage. He did a little bit of number crunching. Can't imagine why he would have done that.
It's not the graveyard.
It's not the graveyard. No, hopefully he's going to forget about that
the
for the rest of this episode. It is dead. Good.
It is dead.
So, Tony, tell us about your graph.
I sat down with the wonderful website that's Wikipedia that listed out all of the goals that were scored in this World Cup and specifically the timing of the goals. And I put together a little graph, if we can have a look at it now. These are the goals that were scored up until about the round of 16. Now, as you can see, there are three parts to this pie chart, and one of them is goals scored in the first half, goals scored in the second half up to the 85th minute, and interestingly, goals scored after the 85th minute. Paying attention. We've still got the graphic up, I hope. The interesting thing about that is, how many goals do you think, what sort of ratio do you think, how many goals were scored out of the total that were scored in the last 5 minutes?
Well, you've shown me the graphs.
You're supposed to pretend you didn't know and make a wild guess.
30%?
Oh, no, not that high. So 1 in 5 goals were scored after the 85th minute, right? So I find that extraordinary. And this is why we've had so much late drama in this World Cup that, Germany scores in the 95th minute, South Korea scored in the 93rd and 97th minute. So a lot of goals scored after that 85th minute mark. So, there's a lot of teams that, apart from the fact that it's a fitness issue, but they don't give up. They just keep going.
That's not a surprise to me because football is a game that is often, as I tell my coachlings, won in the last 10 minutes. If you can be fitter, be more ready, be ready for them to get tired, that's where you can score that winning goal.
Yeah, that's it.
What would be really interesting, and can I ask a favour? If you could get that stat from previous World Cups.
Previous ones.
And compare them, because I don't think they'll be too different.
Yeah, right.
I think most World Cups turn out this way.
Yep, okay.
What will be interesting is what happens in the next game.
Yeah, yep. In the next, game or World Cup?
No, the next game. Croatia versus England. We're going to cover that in just a moment. I'm just going to empty my mouth of food.
Now, before we get to previewing the other semi-final, I did a little bit of another sort of little side project, a little bit of fun. And in watching these games, in spending a side project, Tony, yes, I get distracted. Oh, look, a butterfly. I noticed in watching the game, some of these players actually look like people, in other walks of life, in other walks of life. So let's have a look at the graphic now. Put together a few lookalikes for you. So hopefully that. Okay. Now the goalkeeper Courtois for Belgium looks suspiciously like the villain from the first Incredibles movie, Bon Voyage. Quite amazing. Also, we had the Cavani from Uruguay, looking suspiciously like Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Even managed to find a photo where they were both looking in the same direction. Ochoa, the goalkeeper for Mexico, looked like that guy from How I Met Your Mother, whose name's Josh Radnor. He also looks like Jimmy Fallon as well. And finally, Diego Armando Maradona looks suspiciously like Robbie Williams. Great graphic there from the World Cup 2018.
And we thought we'd left that one behind.
Yeah,
never mind. Look, thank you for that, Tony. We'll be back in a moment to discuss the upcoming semi-final.
Hello and welcome back to Putin Football First. We're going to try and preview
Did I mention the sets being clean today?
You may have mentioned it.
So about the semi-final this afternoon.
Heading on.
I really wanted to do it. Hi.
Come on in. Here's our studio audience for Thursday night.
If we could just wave a baguette at her and make her go away. Welcome back. We're now going to preview tonight's big semi-final.
I'm empty.
You're empty? Oh, you can fill me up too.
Okay. You talk, I'll fill.
Tonight's big semi-final, Croatia v England. Now, if anyone that's watching knows any English person, you'll know how insufferable they have all become in the last 2 or 3 days. It's been ridiculous. And
if they win tomorrow, do we bring like warm beer on or something like that? Or
fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Yeah, it's going to have to be fish and chips and bad attitude. So hi to all my English friends. Hi, Mum. Look, it's going to be a cracker of a game. This is probably the first time that England will be tested.
Definitely.
I mean, properly tested.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to them being tested.
Yes.
And if they pass with flying colours, then well done. The reward is you get to the World Cup final.
That's right. Now, I know I've often made fun of the English supporters and the English team going out on a penalty shootout.
No one noticed.
I really hope it doesn't happen. I really hope that there's a clean result. 90 minutes. One, we could all get some sleep.
Exactly.
But two, it would be great for England not to go out that way.
Yeah, that's it. You know,
either play your way into the final, play your way out of the final, or be outplayed, as they say. But England... While I want Croatia to win, I won't feel bad if you do as well.
There's a lot to be said about getting the result within the 90 minutes. You know, if one team's winning 1-0 or 2-1, you know, the other team's going to press. If it's a 1-1 draw, they tend to drop off in the last 5 minutes, play for extra time, then there's lifts, and then they drop, then there's a bit of a lift and it drops.
Which at that stage, we're all getting fatigued and cramp as well.
And they're all saving themselves for the penalty shootout, so hopefully,
That's right. Hopefully it doesn't go there.
Resolve it in 90 minutes. Plenty of goals and a semi-final as good as the first semi-final. That's all we ask for.
And one thing's for sure, the final will have the red, white and blue.
It will. And well-deserved too. They were there 20 years ago and they had a terrific run in the 98 World Cup finals.
They did.
20 years later, they're there again and thoroughly deserved. So, you know, whichever way, France-Croatia, France-England, I think it'll be a terrific World Cup final. This has been a World Cup of surprises, and we're going to get an outsider.
The Outsiders World Cup is what we said at the beginning, and it could well yet be. Would you call France outsiders? They're not really.
They outsiders. That's it. Well, outsiders from Germany, outsiders from Spain, outsiders from Brazil, outsiders from Argentina, but they've all been swept away, and these guys have done what they've needed to do.
So it'll be really interesting. All right, and we're back for the last time for this episode. One more plug for our live audience show being recorded 7 p.m. at the Sydney Junction Hotel. Give them a call if you want to eat. Give them a call and book yourself in. But otherwise, we'll be there with bells on, hopefully some lights, and if we're lucky, some sound.
And if we're really lucky, some audience.
Yeah, I'm not counting on that.
And if we're really lucky, I'll have a co-host who'll move from being interested to actually going.
I might come.
Yeah, that's it.
Not committed. Could be interesting.
Yeah, not committed.
All right, we'd like to thank our sponsors once again. Edenvale,
non-alcoholic wine.
we want to thank Murray's Brewing Company. Thanks for the beer. We want to thank River Roast. Thanks for the coffee. And last but certainly not least, thank you very much. As you can see, I'm once again wearing the shirt of the loser.
Yes.
Everything Football we put a baguette on Everything Football. Everything Football, thank you very much for your support throughout the show. I believe those guys are going to be there on Thursday, so thank you guys. We might get you on, along with any other guests we can convince or blackmail.
Thanks for the balls.
Cheers.